What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Otaku Octagon podcast. I'm your host, Maui. I'm joined by my co-host, David.
What's going on?
So this episode, we're going to be talking about things that we've been catching up for this season and things we're actually looking forward to in the next season the most.
Well, I'm pretty excited about all the animes that are coming up next season, but I do want to first highlight the animes that are actually ending this week of the current spring 2022 season.
Absolutely.
Uh, exactly. First, I do want to bring up Shield Hero. I know we all talked about how excited we were when that was coming out. I finished the final episode. I think it was probably like Wednesday of last week, and it wasn't exactly how it was in the manga. You know how I like to compare it to the
Yeah.
manga to the anime. It wasn't
Yeah.
exactly how it ended, but it actually wrapped up the way it did wrap up in the manga, and that's what I am happy about. I hate to watch something that it changes the outcome
We're
completely.
not
You know
going
what
to
I
have
mean?
that conversation. We're not going to have that.
Other than Shield Hero, I did watch this the final episode of a show called Friends Game. I didn't speak on it a lot, but it's more of like what was that Korean movie? Like they were playing a game.
Squid Game?
Yeah, Squid Game.
Yeah,
So it's
Squid Game.
basically like
Yeah.
an anime version
Really?
of Squid Game. It was pretty exciting, honestly, and because of the Squid Game vibe, it really connected me to it. I watched it from day one when it came out, and the 12th episode came out, and it didn't wrap up everything. Pretty upset about that, but it got me excited for the
Yeah.
second season that is about to come out. I did watch a couple other shows, like I quit hearing, and he started helping the bad guy, but they were like kind of smaller animes. They were just something I watched in the meantime, in between time. How about yourself?
I haven't actually been watching. So I kind of got wrapped up in rewatching some things that have been out for a while. Hopefully, they do make their way back. But we did have a conversation about the other day. I actually have a brand new favorite anime. I don't know why it hit me, but I have a brand new favorite anime. That's not now. It's different from Iron Blood Orphans. That's always going to be top number one. But this is
That's in your
always
heart.
this. Yes, right. This is going to take number two. So Fire Force is actually my favorite anime from now on. I don't know why. It just
You know why?
it's something about yeah.
You know why? It's
Maki?
the sound it
Yeah,
makes every time the fire come out.
yeah, but no, but so I've been rewatching that just to kind of watch it. Something for background noise. I've watched it a bunch of times. I'm definitely trying to catch up on Bleach for the Thousand Year Blood
Mhm.
War, but I know so a lot of the things going on right now with Bleach is a lot of fillers, but there are good fighting. There is good fighting right now, and it's essentially it's ended already, but where I'm watching it, he's trying to get back his or he's about to lose his Soul Reaper powers, and he needs to find a way to get him back, which he obviously does. I mean,
Obviously,
obviously for the
it's
next
about
season,
him.
yeah, he's the MC. But I definitely been watching um, the what's it called
That was a part timer.
yeah, Devil's a Part Timer. Been
Hmm.
watching Devil's a Part Timer because season two is actually coming out next season, so I'm trying to catch up on that. It's definitely really funny. So the TikTok that I talked about last time about me watching the TikTok that made me watch the show, I actually saw the actual episode where it happened,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna be honest, it kind of like disappointed me because I thought this was gonna be like I thought this was like a bloodbath episode, but it was more funny than anything. Like it was more
Not at
funny
all.
when he goes into his when he pulls in all the anger and like sadness from people and turns into his devil form,
Hmm.
and then he like flies up in the air and beats the shit out of Lucifer, and then like Lucifer's like all he has like the big knot on his face. He's like, I'm sorry, like it was more of a funny
I mean,
episode.
yeah.
But the way that
It's not
yeah.
the battle shonen that you originally thought it was
Well,
going to be.
no, I never thought it was a battle shonen. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. I never thought it was a legit battle shonen. If it's a Devil's a part time, it shows him working at a McDonald's, copyright, trademark,
Mhm.
McDonald's. But like I knew it would be more of a slice of life. But the TikTok, the way they framed it, which this goes to show you, social media ain't always what it's cracked up to be.
Shit.
But like the TikTok where they showed it, it had like the badass music in it, and it showed him like going up there and like putting his hand on his face and throwing him to the. I was like, oh shit, this is like maybe one of these episodes is like a fighting episode, at least one. But it was. Don't get me wrong, the episode was badass, but it was more the context. When you actually get context for the whole episode, it's more funny than anything. But I've been watching that. I definitely need to finish up Spy Family for this season, and I also want to get back into my Shield Hero. However, I feel like the reason why I haven't started it is because I need to restart it. I need to watch it from the first season. I know like Wave Top what it's about, but I tried to watch the second season the other day, and like I started at the first episode, and I just like things that were going on were out of context for me. Like
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't understand what was going on, so I need to restart that. And then I think I need to get back into Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in the Dungeon, because season 4 is coming out next season. So I definitely need to at least rewatch the last season of that. I mean, it's the same premise. I mean, hero adventures. They got archangels that like are gods that give them powers, and then they go into a dungeon. It is what it is.
But you got to understand the
Yeah,
small
yeah.
details between, like the
Like
inside
whenever
jokes.
inside jokes and stuff, right? So I've been watching a lot of that. Fire Force has been taking most of my time up, which is not good because we're anime content creators, and I haven't been
We gotta
watching
watch more
anything new.
anime.
We gotta watch new shit, right? But yeah, other than that, I mean, and then obviously the other nerd shit. Like I finished the last season of Kenobi, the last episode of Kenobi, which is pretty good, and then keeping up with the
Really
book.
good.
So, but other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all I've been watching so far. But I'm definitely looking forward to what's coming up. I think summer 2022, especially fall. I mean, I think summer 2022 has the most content, but fall 2022 is gonna have like the OG animes that come.
Yeah, what we're looking forward to the most, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's like 5 titles maybe from the fall season that I'm really, really, really looking forward to, but it's not as many as what is coming out in the summer 2022 season.
Yeah.
But what am I looking forward to?
Yeah.
I would the most from the summer 22 season. I couldn't. I would probably say Overlord. I do love that gothic feel. I know Albedo is one of your favorite characters.
Albedo, baby.
She's one of your favorite characters from the show for whatever reason. I don't know. But season 4 is coming out in the summer. And I'm looking forward to, honestly. It's a really good show. The premise is exciting because you got the main character. He's an isekai. You know how I love my isekai, but he's a isekai into the game. And he's just trying to find other people who are also isekai into the game. And how he finds other people is through these large tactics, such as, oh, I'm just going to be a knight in the human world, gain notoriety until people notice me, and finally I'll find another adventurer, someone from the real world, which he ends up finding someone and ends up having to kill him. But that's neither here or there. And then he realized, hey, that plan's not working out. You know what? I'm just going to be the bad guy. I'll eventually find someone. So I'm actually pretty excited for the show because of all the different tactics that he undergoes. Like he seems to be like an overall strategist because he's moving many pieces, even not in just his world, but in other worlds, just to get to his main objective.
I think I need to rewatch that one as well. Not necessarily more like a skim rewatch, only because the last thing I remember happening in the show, for some reason this is sticking with me. I remember like the whole first season. But the last thing I remember in one of the last seasons was when he was fighting the lizard people, like the lizard army or whatever, which I think was season 2, season 3. I'm not sure.
That was season 3. That was
season 3. Okay. But that's the last thing I remember. But I don't remember, like we were talking about, inside jokes and stuff like that. So that's another thing that I'm definitely going to have to catch up on and actually like watch, because I don't necessarily remember it. Because it's been so long, and you'll watch an anime and then you'll hop off it to go watch something else that just came out and like all this nonsense. So I am looking forward to Overlord. I think it's going to be really good. I mean, there's a reason it's come back for season 4. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like how, Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon? Season 4 is coming back for that. And for those of you guys who haven't watched Is It Wrong? So, and once again, our residential David over there loves these long ass, my hero left the party to go join the family on the side of the hill so he could cook breakfast and live an easy life.
The longer the title, the better the anime.
The goated the anime. But no, so Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon? So essentially the premise of this is it's a normal anime. So it's a very simple anime. It's about a kid. His name is Bell Carnell or whatever the fuck his name is. He's essentially I guess you'd call it hero, but he's the MC of that world. What they have is they have clans. So the clans, what they do is they go into dungeons, they raid dungeons. It's kind of like you could say any adventure or hero adventuring party or anime in the entire world. However, the little difference is they have gods. So they're like kami's. So they're gods that come down and they're the leader of these clans or of these adventure groups or these guilds, you can call them, right? they're the leader of these guilds, and they give them powers on the back of their back. So Bel Cornell
Lessons.
has his blessing on his back, and what they do is every time they go into a dungeon and they level up, they go back to their god, and their god like goes on their back like it's a fucking iPad, and then fucking like updates it and shit. And then she finds out that he has like a special power that he's not technically supposed to have, and she kind of gaslights him and lies to him about it. And then it becomes like a whole deal. They end up getting really rich, and it's a really good simple anime if you're really into animes that are just about like I love Adventure Guild animes. Those are my favorite. Kind of like Ari Futera, fucking even Sword Art Online is an Adventure Guild anime. Yes, it's like a isekai-ish because he's going into a video game, not necessarily another world, but they have Adventure Guilds and they have to clear dungeons and shit. I love the dungeon anime types.
Yeah,
so
a lot of isekais are
yeah.
dungeon type or guild adventure types. That's why I do love that genre as well.
Yeah, it's actually really good. But that's I think the one I'm probably looking forward to the most would be that one, even though I said for summer 2022. Now we'll get to fall in a second, but summer 2022 is it wrong to pick up a girl is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. Only because I think when I first found that show, it was on season 2 or ended season 2, and I mean I binged it, and if I can binge an entire seasons of anime, that I know I really like it.
I'll tell you. Actually, enjoy more following the week to week to week. Each episode, one title that is actually coming out for next season that I did catch when it first came out, season 1, episode 1, and watch it week to week to week, is that Rent a Girlfriend title. You ever seen that one?
So I heard about it. I haven't actually watched it, but I know there's a woman in there that's like Voldemort. So
okay, relax. All right, so in Rent a Girlfriend, the whole premise of the show, it's a slice of life, so I'm not too surprised you haven't caught it yet. But the whole premise of it is the guy in it, he's Japanese. He feels pressured by his mother to find a girlfriend, marry someone, bring kids into the family.
Yeah.
Many cultures, they feel that way.
Yep.
So, but he can't get a girl. He had a girlfriend before, but he's such a wimp. She played him and dumped him. So what does he decide to do? He decides to rent a girlfriend.
City boys.
So he rents this girlfriend. He just wants to rent her for a day. But the problem is his mother ends up falling in love with this girl. Like, she's the best girlfriend ever. You have to. No, not.
It's anime.
No,
I don't know.
That's not that type of anime. It's a regular type of anime. Life. I don't know what life you thinking of.
It's anime. I wouldn't have been surprised.
It's only anime. No. But no, so the mother loves her. So she's like, oh, bring her around. I want to see her more. So he's like, oh shit. Well, I gotta bring you around more. That means I have to pay you more money.
You got a monthly subscription to this girl.
But the problem is he also falls in love with this girl.
Oh Lord.
And she falls in love with him.
Oh.
But they can't tell each other that they're in love with each other.
Oh my God.
It's a crazy anime. It's not something that I'm like, oh God, I have to see season 2 for, but I'm gonna catch season 2 because I liked the first season. It was cute,
Imagine being a clown and paying this bitch the whole time, and she's in love with you.
She gave him a few discounts.
A discount,
like, hey, today's free,
Hey, look, this ain't the red light district. It's like we get married or something,
No, I feel you on that one. But another show that I did watch when it came out originally was The Classroom of the Elite. That was another isekai.
I've heard of that one.
It's an interesting show. It's interesting. It's not the best isekai ever. Yeah. It's just something to catch if you do like isekais. It's about a whole bunch of kids. They were the smartest people in their school, and then for some odd reason, only they got isekai into this new world, and because they were the smartest in Japan, apparently they're the best they can possibly be in this new world. So it's about following these isekai kids as they do from thing to thing to thing, and basically exceed with flying colors and everything that they do. It's an isekai. I'm gonna watch it because it's an isekai. But do you have any more summer?
So
2022s?
Yeah, so I do want to wave top The Devil is a Part-Timer for those of y'all who probably didn't catch either my last episode where I kind of talked about it, only because I have watched more episodes of it. So I kind of want to give an update a little bit about it because it is coming back in summer 2022. Now, if it wasn't coming back, I'd skip over it, but it is coming back. So essentially, for those of y'all who haven't seen The Devil is a Part-Timer, it's really about the devil's, so Satan. His name is Satan. It's a little weird because it's not the traditional Christianity, what you would think about Satan and the devil and stuff like that. He is the demon king, don't get me wrong, and his name is Satan, but he has a general that's named Lucifer now that I just obviously found out about. But he has a, which Lucifer in our world, Lucifer and Satan are the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But there, Lucifer is somebody that's different. But he's still a fallen archangel, like all this nonsense. But it's essentially about the devil who was getting into a fight in it's like Uriel or Uri or some, it's like some land that they're in. Well, essentially they're pretty much he's fighting the hero. So there's always a hero. Wherever there's a demon king, there's a hero. And they essentially, the demon king decides to retreat to another world. He goes through a gate, ends up on the earth. While he's on earth, he turns into like this 17-year-old kid, right? And he's like not he's not old anymore. He's not like his older, like big buff, horny, like has horns and shit.
He got nerfed.
He got nerfed. He got nerfed pretty much, and he can only use a certain amount of magic because the world that we live in, the human world, doesn't have magic. However, he did figure out later down the road. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but he does figure out how to get magic from people, and that's pretty much drawing in people's like negative emotions that are around him. So like that TikTok where he gets his devil flowers back and like fucks up Lucifer. He makes sure he draws the battle over to a hospital. All the people that are sick, dying, like and have now all these negative emotions, and it gives him his powers back, but he uses too much of it, and so on and so forth. But he's pretty much working at a place called McDonald's, which is McDonald's in our world, but it's obviously copyrighted. And he's pretty much like the best employee ever. But it's him and his generals, Uriel and Lucifer. They're all living in this tiny ass apartment that he calls the Demon Castle. And like, but it's this tiny ass apartment, which the landlady, which I just found out, the landlady actually knows about the world. She's actually is like, she knows about sonar pulses, like, and all this nonsense, which is crazy. So we'll get to see like what she's about and like what her role is to play in this show. I haven't seen it yet, but they're pretty much like their landlady comes and warns them when these earthquakes are happening. She's like, "You really think I wouldn't notice these sonar pulses? You might want to go over there before she gets messed up." And then they're just like, "What the fuck? Like, what the?
What
fuck?
do you know?"
What So, but it's pretty much just him. It is a slice of life anime. He's pretty much like the Demon King, but not to mention the hero also went through the same time gate. And she stalks him. She fucking is always watching him, trying to catch him doing some crazy shit. He'll be in the apartment like, I'm gonna eat your flesh off your. I'm gonna eat the flesh off your bones. I'm gonna roast you alive and kill you. She's like, oh my god! And she runs into the room, and then he's like talking about like chicken on the bone or beef on the bone or some shit. Yeah. And she's like, what are you doing here? Like, get out of my apartment. Like, So, and it's really funny. Their dynamic is really good. But I'm looking forward to season. I still haven't finished season 1. I'm like right there, like right at the end. So I can't really talk about like any cliffhangers for the next season or the next part.
That's okay.
But it is definitely really good. It's definitely really good. If it's a slice of life, how I don't necessarily like slices, but
you can't say that no more.
No,
hey, if you're not on YouTube right now, this is the moment he fell in love with slice of life.
No.
This look on his face right now was him falling in love.
The slice of life anime has to be funny.
That's the only. They are.
Not all slice of lives are funny though.
I mean, they also got some like emotional pulls, like like love.
And see, and I'm not really all about that. Like I'm not for that gay shit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh come on.
Like I don't know. If for a slice of life to be interesting to me, it doesn't have to be actiony. It just has to be really fun. Like I have to sit there and be like, like what the fuck, like just a moment from Devil's a part-timer. Like he's sitting there holding the bridge with his powers. He's like, I need you to go fight him. I'm holding this bridge. Like he's struggling. And Lucifer shoots this bolt of like blue magic light, and the hero, she like slaps it out of the way with her sword, and it like bings him in the fucking head. But the sound it makes, it's like doom, and he's like, I fucking lost it when that happened.
You love
because it was so serious. No, it was so serious up until that point. He's like, I need you to go fight him. I need you to go fight him. Like I can only hold this for so long. And she's like, boom, and he's like, ding. He's like, and I was like, what the fuck?
What also has a feel just like that? It's actually an anime that's coming out in the fall of 2022. Mob Psycho. You ever seen Mob Psycho
That's
season
not a
one,
slice of
season
life
two?
though. Yo,
It's
Mob
not a
Psycho
slice
is
of life, but
lit.
it's hilarious. Like the funniest things,
100.
like it'd be such a serious situation, and all of a sudden something silly as fuck
Something
happens.
stupid happens. Yeah. I'm definitely looking. Mob Psycho hasn't been out in like a decade. Like Mob Psycho, it's been a long time since Mob
It's still
Psycho.
good. I can watch
Yeah.
season one again, season two again. I still feel the same way.
I'm gonna be honest. I think because you know me, I like my social media put-ons. Like social media got to put me on something. I think it was Facebook that actually put me on Mob Psycho like a long time ago. Yeah. I think I saw a video of when he fought that yellow-haired boy in the front yard, and he went like 98 or something. He didn't go full 100,
You
but he
saw
still
the
crazy.
98, 99.
Yeah, and it started like climbing and shit, and then he was like, blah, and his eyes went all white, and his hair which stood up like gone and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, this looks legit, you know. And I will say it balances. Mob Psycho definitely balances its action with its like normal day-to-day life stuff. The only reason why I say it needs to do that is because the storyline isn't really like there, you know.
It has a storyline.
Yeah,
I thought it was just
exactly.
people doing wacky
Exactly. They're like, there's no substance to it. It's just the fighting, and then it's funny. So, which is a good thing though. I'm okay with that as long as it's funny and the fighting is like legit. You know, like the whole like the ending of Mob Psycho season 2 when they're like all fighting in that big like city and they're all fucking each other up. Like that's,
Yeah,
I mean, that was one of the most goated fight scenes
that
in
was a really good
in
scene.
anime history. So
Okay, that's
one,
like,
I said one of the
okay.
good
I
fight
thought you
scenes.
said the greatest. I
No,
maybe you went
absolutely
out
not.
for a second.
No, I'm talking about when Yu-Gi-Oh was fucking and it was
Did you
fight.
say Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, when
Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh
man, he's
was
showing his age. Just calm down.
no, I'm not talking not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, okay. I
Yu-Gi-Oh
thought you
from
said Yu-Gi.
from Jujutsu Kaisen when they're jumping
Okay.
jumping the Stitch curse and they're
Yeah.
just beating the shit out. It's like fight
This
back, nigga, fight back.
the fucking tree curse. That shit was hilarious. Shit.
But yeah,
A show that's actually going to have really good fight scenes coming up. Is My Hero Academia. I know you mentioned that you weren't like fully caught up. You seem like
gotta catch up.
season 6 is about to come out. And I don't know if y'all niggas are ready for the level of epicness that season 6 is about to bring to the table.
I think I'm gonna have to rewatch that from season 1.
That's what I do for everything that's coming out. I do like to watch the seasons prior. Season 1 though, that's like
if I can't fully so something I'll do if it's this long, if it's this deep into anime, something I'll do is I'll start it from season 1. If I remember that episode, I'll skip it. If I remember the next episode, I'll skip it. If I don't remember the episode, I'll watch it.
Whole thing.
Huh?
I said it's a whole thing you got going on there.
Well, no, that's what it's to save me time because obviously I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna remember. I remember the whole episode when him and All Might are training. I remember the whole episode when he runs out there, when Midoriya runs out there to go save that girl from the fucking monster, and he has no quirk yet, and then All Might comes and say, I remember those episodes.
Oh, Bakugo, girl.
Yeah. No. There's in the first season, not Bakugo wasn't. No, Bakugo wasn't in danger. It was like some civilian that was in danger. The first episode. Yeah.
Oh,
Midoriya,
Bakugo went to go save the person.
But he froze, and then Midoriya ran in and was about to die, and then fucking. That's when
he's gonna rewatch it. Don't worry, he'll rewatch it.
No, that's not what I know exactly what happens.
You know?
I know exactly what happened. So,
Okay.
But I remember those specific episodes. And I'm if I remember it, I'm gonna just skip it. So because I'm not.
You gotta watch the fights though.
Not
like the legendary fights, like the best animation they ever had happened in the last season when he was fighting the decay dude.
The last season, I haven't even seen the last season. I haven't even seen season 5. I probably haven't even seen season 4.
Oh man, you got something to watch.
I told you I don't like My Hero that much. I don't like
My
Hero.
My Hero's.
I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
I feel that My Hero dropped in the middle. I would say around season 3.
That's what
they kind of lost interest. People lost interest in the show. The manga stayed popular. The manga stayed hitting home every single time, especially with the time skips. But I would say the anime did too much happy kid
Exactly.
episode.
That's what I'm saying. It was
the
too
serious note like the main ones.
It was too cartoony, happy-go-lucky bullshit for me to where I was just like, I don't care anymore.
It's
Like,
not gonna be like that anymore. Season 5. I would say season 5 on is no longer like that.
yeah, well, I don't know. This whole Hero Academy and like these kids like fucking around and jerking each other off.
The kid, like the main character, Deku or Midoriya, he's not even. He stopped fucking with them. He's like, "Oh, y'all too happy. Y'all not."
Oh,
ready.
so he goes. He goes Shield Hero on these kids.
He goes Sasuke on them. He leaves the village.
He goes rogue
and does his thing.
So Midoriya's little happy I'm a hero shit goes away.
Yes, it goes away completely. Honestly, he's like, "Hey, I got responsibilities."
Is he older? Is he older in the time?
No, it's like
he's still a kid.
Probably like a few months. I mean, is he a kid at this point? He's a ninth grader. I would say about a ninth grader in our world. So about what, 15?
I meant like where the manga's at right now. Is he's not like an adult?
It's still the same school year, the first school year. Everything that happens is all like the end of the school year is where they're at now, and where they're like, oh, we're second years now, technically, right? They just said that in like one of the latest chapters I just read recently. And honestly, the way they start is not the same way they end. Season 4 kind of gives you that hint towards the end of it. Season 5 is daunting. Season 6 is going to be fuck everybody. I need to save the world.
Okay.
You really need to catch it.
I will. I'll probably stop fucking around on Fire Force. Because out of everything, that's gonna be my longest catch up. Is gonna be My Hero. Like, is it wrong to pick up? What do you mean? I remember every episode of Hunter x Hunter. I remember every single episode of Hunter x Hunter.
But when they come out with the new episodes,
that shit was goated.
New episodes that they haven't announced at all yet, that everyone says they're about to start having.
No. I remember if there's an anime, it's kind of like, so if they came out with a new season of like Iron Blood Orphans for some fucking reason, which they don't need to because of the ending, and they couldn't, to be honest. Like if they did, I would not have to watch it because I know every single episode of that fucking show. So,
what you mean by that? Why can't they make any more? I haven't seen
you haven't finished it yet. That's your problem. That's your problem.
About it? Hold up.
No,
you can't drop spoilers like that.
It's not a spoiler. I didn't say anything.
You said they can't. They can't even if they wanted to. What do you mean by that?
They wanted to. They shouldn't. Well, they could because a lot of shows do that, but they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. A lot of shows do like dumbass shit like that. Trash, garbage. Like we wanted Naruto as an adult to see a show about him, but we instead got his intrepidous dumbass kid. So
he gets better. You just follow it. He's not the same asshole as he is.
I don't care. Asshole. He's a trash. He's a garbage can. What? They only nerfed Naruto and Sasuke so people would buy into Boruto. That's the only reason why they nerfed Naruto and Sasuke.
And you don't like Boruto because they nerfed Sasuke and Naruto for him.
But they had to nerf them. They didn't have to. They could have just made Shippuden Part 2 and they could have been adults and just had a show about them as adults. You wanted it to be about
Naruto and Sasuke.
Exactly.
But it's about Boruto.
I guarantee you, if we took a poll in the entire anime community, they would have rather had a Naruto and Sasuke show that's them older and instead of a fucking kid show.
Why don't they just what they said? They announced at some point. I don't remember when they plan on starting it, but I do remember an announcement saying that they plan on animating the side books. I know you read a couple of the side books, whatnot, but they do plan on animating.
Like Konoha Senju.
Yeah, so I do. I do want to catch that if they have already started. I don't know if anyone in the chat, anyone who's watching this, have seen it. Maybe drop it in the chat that they've already started. But they do plan on animating that, and I do want to catch that. Yeah. But Boruto's about Boruto.
I don't care though. He's garbage. I don't.
He's not garbage.
If it is what's it called? If it's a consensus that he was fucking buffed and Naruto and Sasuke were nerfed for that specific reason, then that's trash. Instead of just making him more powerful and keeping Naruto and Sasuke, so like. They had to take them away just so we wouldn't watch it just for them.
But they're gods. They couldn't make Boruto more powerful.
They could easily have made just another show. instead of Boruto.
They made another show. It's called Boruto.
Oh, another
This is
show
not
about
Naruto.
these kids. Hell, they could even have made a Naruto Shippuden 2 and had Naruto have kids and still have the same kids in there, but it not be about those kids.
You just don't want it to be about Boruto, but
No.
it's about him.
Who the fuck would? If you had a choice, if you could go back in time and you could talk to fucking Kishimoto and you would look at him in his face and he said, "It's up to you. Would you rather me do a Naruto as an adult show or Boruto?" You telling me you would pick Boruto. Don't troll, not troll me.
And I will tell you why. If they would have started that show from episode 1, that scene of episode 1, if they would have started from that point and on, not going back to the academy and watching Boruto become a ninja and get his headband and then meeting his friend, start from that point and not make it about Naruto Sasuke, like, we don't know. And we find out later on, after months, what happened. We start to pick up, maybe even Boruto don't even know what fully happened to him. If they would have started from that point, I would have taken that over that. But them nerfing Sasuke and Naruto is why I don't necessarily feel as much for the show. But if they would have just got rid of them, I would have been okay with that.
Even then, though, that would have kind of been stupid because the whole point of Naruto in the beginning was to watch him grow up as an adult or grow up through the academy, do the thing, and they did the same thing. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you can change anything about the show. Mm-hmm. You can't change shit. If you go back in time and you talk to him, he gave you an option. You can't change shit about the show. The show's gonna happen.
If I can't change anything, okay. If I can't change anything, I would have went for Shippuden 2.
Exactly. The point is, you would get this show, or you would get a Naruto as an adult show.
Okay, fine. Then yes, I would choose Naruto
and the majority
as
of
an
the
adult.
fucking community would choose the same. I fucking hate Naruto
because of how they did it. But the premise with the thought that they were originally going for was good. Hey. They just did it wrong. What is the saying? Like, they had a good idea, they just executed it incorrectly, or they executed it.
Poor execution. Yeah.
Good idea. Yeah, exactly.
But the problem is it doesn't matter how they did it. They did it regardless. So,
but they did it. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Get rid of this show and get a Naruto show as an adult, I would get rid of this whole fucking show.
Okay, so here's my question then. I'm laughing because we kind of went off on a complete different tangent. Would you take a Boruto show the way I was talking about it? We don't know how they disappeared. Boruto is trying to find them.
No,
I
already know.
You just hate Boruto though.
I want as a kid. So hear me out. No bullshit. As a kid, when you were watching shows as a kid, and you were watching when you first started Naruto, when you first started Bleach, or when you first started like any show that had a main character, even now with Demon Slayer, with fucking Jujutsu Kaisen, any of these shows where these MCs are still kids, you want to see them at their peak. Hunter x Hunter, we got to see it a little bit when he was fighting Pito, right? We got to see his peak, and then he lost it, and now he has to gain it back somehow. In my mind, and I think the majority of the anime community will agree with me, we want the next shows, or in the next few years, whenever they get through it, I want to see the shows about them. They have this problem with the next shows always being about their kids. I don't give a fuck about their kids. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm not fucking trolling. I want to see these main characters that we grew up with as adults. Like, I'm an adult. I want to see them as an adult. I want to see them at their peak, most powerful form, taking on the world, doing what they said they were going to do when they were kids. But instead, I get their fucking half-nerfed, bad haircut self and their fucking retarded ass fucking kids.
His haircut alone.
Like,
is that why you hurt? Is the haircut was hurting you?
No, as a kid. And I mean, and honest, like, answer me honestly. You knew when you saw these MCs, you were like, damn, I really want to see what he'd really, because you know he's going to be goated as a fucking adult. Like, as an adult, as like, you know, I want to see what that's like. But I don't want to see him do like one or two things every other or every 5 episodes do something really cool. Like, I want to see on a day-to-day. I want to see like a normal Naruto show. I want to see, I mean, this isn't going to happen. I'm not trying to spoil the manga for people who like watch Demon Slayer, but like that's never going to happen with Tanjiro. Like, that's not how the Demon Slayer manga kind of ends. But they pretty much beat him as when he's a kid, so they don't need Demon Slayers anymore. Spoiler alert. But like, I want to see them grow up. Like Luffy, I want to see like Luffy as like a fucking adult, like as where his dad's at. You want to see him in his most goated fucking form, taking on the world. You don't want to see Luffy's
You
kid.
don't think I want to see Boofy?
Boofy.
I want to see Boofy. What's Boofy doing?
Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, and like I said before, these new shows that can come out can be about their kid or can have their kids in them. No, like, not gonna say there's a way to do it. You can make one arc about about Naruto, make another arc about Naruto and Sasuke, make an arc about their kid, like what their kid's going through. Like, there's a way to do it. I am by no means a anime creator expert, but I'm just saying a lot of us would rather see these MCs as adults all the time, not every 5 or 10 episodes, all the time, then we'd rather see their kids. Like, nobody cares because we know you nerfed Naruto and Sasuke, and we just because we know that, that's why people like me that don't like the show are more upset because we know that's what you did. Like, we know, like, yeah, they're fucking gods, so don't nerf them. Like, just make a show about them. Hell, keep Boruto, make another show. Just make another show separate to that. And I guarantee you, Boruto is fucking.
Or what they're doing with adding those or animating those episodes of the side stories.
Yeah, if they do Akatsuki Senju and fucking Konoha Senju, then that, I mean, that it's really, it'd be just like filler episodes, a bunch of filler episodes.
That's her plan.
I mean, I just think that, even with Boruto being, I know Boruto's been good. I know they kind of did fan service with Naruto and Baryon mode and Sasuke them fighting Jigen and like all this nonsense. Like, I know they did fan service for that. You can tell because the whole like that whole arc of them fighting the Otsutsuki was about the adults, right? It was about the adults fighting them and then Boruto, helping out. I helped, right? But like, I know they did that for fan service, but I want to see that shit all the time. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna get like in these massive fucking big giant fights all the time throughout the whole show, but like, just give me Shippuden 2, where Naruto's doing his Hokage thing. Give me a few episodes with Sasuke out there in the world, which I know they did recently. Like, I've been following it, not watching it, but like following it on social media, following it on like looking up things about it, YouTube. Like, I've actually been following Boruto, like the wave tops, and I know they're doing that, but they're only doing that for fan service. I want that as a show. Like, I want to see Sasuke out there with one arm fucking up the world, like fucking the world.
But
like,
honestly, they're kind of giving you the things that you're saying that you want. They're just not making it about that, which is kind of what your issue is, because you want to see.
Hey, mine and a lot of people issue. That's not just mine. It's not just mine.
It's still Boruto, but I hear where you're coming from. So I do have a question for you. Not exactly anime, but Avatar. You know, you got the Aang series, book 1, 2, 3. You didn't like Korra.
I did. I will say I did like Korra, because it was a different play on it, and I did like it. And like, what's funny about it is when Boruto came out, because Korra obviously came out before Boruto. When Boruto came out, I was like, they literally just did an Avatar Korra in Boruto. They made it more techie. They have cars now. They have cell phones, and like. They didn't have that in the past Avatar, and they didn't have that in Naruto. They didn't have cell phones and computers and all this nonsense, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like the premise of this show. Technology changing in the world.
And now they do. They did the same thing in Avatar. I do like Korra, but once again, if I could go back and they would ask me, because Aang. So for those of y'all who don't know the actual background or history on what happened to Aang, there's a lot more to what.
Get off.
Yeah, well,
you don't know about Aang. Get off.
Yeah, there's a lot more that happened behind the scenes that most people don't know. So because Aang was trapped in that iceberg for over 100 years, he was technically aging on the inside still, just not on the outside. So when he was the Avatar and as an adult, he actually died around in his like 40s. So he died in his 40s because he was aging on the inside. He never aged on the outside because he was preserved. But he was actually really, really old, and that's why he died in his 40s. And if they would have made a show, they would have showed that Katara, she was actually aging and looking a lot older than Aang was looking when they were like growing up together after the whole Fire Lord Ozai shit. Like, Katara was aging and Aang was kind of staying the same. He still got to like where he looked with that, little chipper beard or whatever, but like Katara looked older than he did because his body was like the way the Avatar spirit was like preserving his outer appearance. It just was keeping him old on the inside. He was still aging on the inside. So that's why he died at such a young age, because technically he was like fucking 150. So, but if they would have I would have taken a Avatar as an adult, because they even talk about him and like Zuko became the Fire Lord, and like, like they like came together and they started solving, because just because Ozai was defeated didn't mean the Fire Nation was done fucking up the countries and shit. They even talked about how the Fire Nation was still going around enslaving people. There were rogue fire agent groups, and Aang and Katara and Sokka, they were all out there kicking ass still up until Aang's death. And then they had their kids. Huh?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, then they had their kids, and then so on and so forth. I would have preferred a show like that than Korra, to be honest. And then what they could have done is transitioned into like Aang dying, and then the last episode of that other show would have been like the minute Aang like passes away, he closes his eyes. Like the next scene is like a baby opening their eyes. Which, to be fair, the next Avatar wasn't born until Aang's kids were like adults. But if they didn't do that and they did it just next generation, like in Aang's kids' generation, Aang dies, and then like they show a baby being born and it opens its eyes and it starts crying and then end the show like that. I think that would be pretty cool.
You got it.
That's for the next Avatar. Like that's the next Avatar. So like just like that, I would have preferred a Avatar Aang as an adult show than Korra, grandkids and shit. So
I get that. So I got 2 points on that. One point I actually just thought of. First off, do you know, or are you tracking the fact that they are actually planning on making new Avatar shows?
Yes.
2024. They plan on doing Zuko. Mm-hmm. They plan on doing your favorite Avatar, Kyoshi. They plan on making
the Murderer.
One season of each of those, just covering them. So they probably plan on talking about Aang during Zuko's, him trying to fix Fire Nation, Avatar obviously helping him out with that. So that's something to come up. I don't know. I think it's like 2024 they plan on coming out that. So it's like 2 years before we see it. Second note I do want to bring up, and this is something that's actually important. We also got to remember that cartoons aren't made for us.
I get that.
Animes aren't made for us.
Well, actually, there's a difference. So things like Nickelodeon and like Avatar, I don't think Avatar is made for us. However, I have 2 points on what you said. Anime in itself is actually designated and actually sent out to different social groups. There are animes that are actually made for adults. There's the point to them. They had like an anime panel. So if you go on the My Anime List app or you go on the actual website, they have panels and forums where actual anime creators will get on there, or you could just read about anime news. Mm-hmm. And they had a forum that actually, this was like a few months ago, they had a forum that anime creators, they were like, what are you making these? People were asking them, what are you making these shows for? Who are you making these shows for? And they said, we're making them for adults. There are some that are for kids. There are some that are actually, but these are for adults. So like with Boruto, like, if you're a creator, if you are a fucking creator of anime or anything, and you know your target audience is us in our 30s, like Avatar came out when we were fucking teenager, we were kids essentially, right? Avatar came out when we were kids. Naruto came out when we were kids. Bleach came out when we were kids. Like, if you're gonna make a new show about that show that we were kids, target that towards your audience, not a new audience. Like, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Now that's like I said, that's my opinion, because the majority of Boruto fan base right now is teenagers, like teenagers and younger audiences.
Isn't that a better audience to go for, though?
So, not really, because what are you doing for the people who are OG Naruto fans and stuff like that, besides your fan serviced animes?
Well, let's use an example. If there were 50,000 OG anime fans, let's not call them OG yet. 50,000 anime Naruto fans when it was live and going, and then it ended, and then they make a new show, will they still go for that 50,000? Most likely not, because those 50,000 are now less because they gotten older, they stopped watching anime, they're working a lot more, so anime is not something they can do. They don't have the time to watch anime. So go for the audience that's going to be bigger. Children, the ones who are watching anime more.
I don't think necessarily that's the way to go. And only reason why I say that is because if you're trying to bring back those people, the majority of the people that are going to buy the Naruto merch are going to be the people like us. So if we had teenage kids right now and they love anime because we like anime, if they came out with a Naruto thing, like if my son liked Boruto, I'd be hard pressed to fucking buy anything Boruto related. But if they came out with a new Naruto show, like I would buy him Naruto shit, because I mean my son already has, both my kids have Naruto shit, right? They have like the onesies, they have the fucking, like I get one of my oldest son has like the shirts and stuff and the swords and the headbands and he has the Akatsuki robe, so like I buy the old OG Naruto stuff. if you're trying to bring back your fan base, right? So you understand that they are older, they are more gone, they may have stopped, or because Naruto's over, they're not watching anymore. If they heard a new Naruto was coming out and it was about him as an adult, I think it would bring back a lot more Naruto fans. Because I'm a prime example of that. I don't watch Boruto because I don't fucking care. But if it was a Naruto show, you would have brought me back to the Naruto community because I love Naruto. So, and I feel like I'm not the only person. I'm obviously not the only person in the world that's like, I'm not going to watch Boruto because fuck Boruto. But if they had Naruto, and imagine multiply that by however many thousands of people feel the exact same way I do, you'd bring us back to that. You know,
compared to the young folks who are currently.
But there's plenty other shows. These creators are also dabble in other shows. There's plenty other shows you could do that to. But if you're gonna touch a franchise that's been around since the 90s, like you have to cater to us too. That's my opinion.
That's why they got filler episode. That's why they got the whole arc with Sasuke and Naruto defeating Inosuke because Boruto can't yet. That's catering to us.
Even do this, like a thought. Even do like maybe do like a 10 episode or like do a whole arc with just like, you know, OG Shippuden arcs, not like an arc where it's like 5 episodes. I meant like a whole OG 17 to 20 episode arc of catering to us and then go into your Boruto show.
But what about their young fans who don't really know Naruto or Sasuke? They're going to watch that. They're going to be like, I don't know this guy. I don't know his history. I don't understand that.
I think it's that person's problem that they didn't go back and watch the show. Like me, I'm not going to start Overlord or I'm not going to start, you know, a show that's coming out in the next season if I didn't remember what happened or I don't know why this is happening. Kind of like Boruto. Like a lot of the things I have watched Boruto. Don't get me. I have watched episodes. I've probably watched like the first like maybe 50-ish episodes. Like there's a lot of things that happen in those first 50 episodes that if you don't have context, you can't appreciate it or you don't know what the fuck's going on.
But they're not the focus of the episode.
But your point was, what about these people who don't know Naruto and Sasuke and then they go into a new show and they're like, who the fuck are these people? They'd be going still into Boruto.
No, that's not my point.
What are they talking about?
My point is those guys, if they went on a whole season that is only about them, say 17 episodes, that's only about, I don't know, Naruto and Sasuke, and they're going on a mission together to do something. Yeah. Those guys, those 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds who we don't expect them to go watch the OG Naruto and watch Naruto and Shippuden. They're going to start with Boruto. That's how Boruto is framed, so they can start there. If we go on a whole 17-episode tangent, they're going to lose that base. They're going to be like, okay, I'll just come back.
I'm not talking about in Boruto. I'm not talking about put that in Boruto.
Oh, you want to make it separate?
Talking about its own thing, like make it.
That would be cool.
I mean, but hell, even in Shippuden, they did that shit to us in Shippuden, where they go on some arc about them as like chibi characters, and we're just like, what the fuck is going on right now? We're in a war. Get back to the war. You know what I'm saying? So like that would be catering to us. That 17 episode, kind of like animating Senju, right? Like do a 17 episode like little thing. Like if they did that before they started Boruto. Like, I don't give a fuck if you haven't seen Naruto before. That's not my problem. If I know somebody for my kids, if my kids get an anime, because I'm gonna try to get them into it because that's what I like. I'd want to watch it with them. If they end up finding Boruto, I'm gonna be like, you need to watch Naruto. I'm gonna at least say it. I'm gonna be like, hey, I at least try to watch Naruto and Shippuden first because that's their dad. That's what I grew up on, and that's what you should watch too. You know, like going into that would be for us. The 17 episode little series that they could drop on us, like an OVA, right? Like they could put an OVA out for Naruto and just make it an OVA, a 17 episode, its own thing, little OVA. They do it with Attack on Titan all the fucking time. So like a little OVA for us as adults, and then they can go into their Boruto thing. Like at least give us something about their, not a little 1 or 2 episode fan service thing for us, because we're the ones that are going to be bringing our kids into it. There are adults that are our age that have 17-year-old kids or 15-year-old kids that like, you know, Naruto and shit like that. I mean, they do the TikToks all the time, right? Like, hey son, you watching Naruto? Be like, yeah, this is the guy from fucking Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, oh, like, you know, it has like him standing there like Itachi and shit, you know? So like, I don't really give a fuck about these, like, they're catering to the 17-year-olds. They can, that's fine, but they should have done it a little differently. Yeah. I think they should have done something for us first because Shippuden ended like fucking 11 years ago. they should have done something for us first, and then went into like, hey, this is going to be for the kids now. You know
It's
what I'm
not
saying?
even that. It was less. It was. I think it's Shippuden ended in 2017.
Did it?
5 years ago.
Did it? I don't
They
know.
should have continued to cater to us because the fan
Yeah.
base that watched Shippuden
We're still here.
is still here. It's not
Yeah.
like we had a 10-year break or a 15-year break. So I
Yeah.
definitely understand where you're coming from. They should, and that's probably why they're animating those books because they're like, oh shoot, we
Yeah.
should be catering to them. So yeah, they had a good idea. It was just bad delivery. They should have did books first and then transition to Boruto.
And that'd be like talking about kind of getting back on topic here. That'd be like what they're doing with Bleach in the fall 2022 season with the 1,000-Year Blood War, right? And with Bleach came out around the same time Naruto did, like early 2000s.
Yeah, it was a part of Big Three.
Yeah, it was part. It's part of the big three: Goku, Naruto, and fucking. I knew you were gonna say that. I'm sorry, who? No, but it's like big four now because everybody argues about Goku and Luffy, whoever's part of it.
Like Goku is not part of the Big Three at all. It's Luffy, Naruto, and Ichigo.
Dragon Ball came out before any of these shows.
Exactly. You know what the Big Three is? The Big
Dragon Ball
Three
came out
is
1989.
These animes that came, these new animes that came out at a certain time.
I'm trolling you. I'm
So
trolling.
Goku,
Okay. Anyways, but what they're doing, what they're doing for Bleach is like that'd be like them ending Bleach where they just ended it, or ending it a little differently because they can't end it how they ended it and like not do something more. But like ending Bleach and then the next this 1,000-Year Blood War be about like, oh, we thought the 1,000-Year Blood War was Ichigo fighting. No, it's about his kid fighting. Ichigo is just like one of the captains, and we barely get to see him. Like that'd be fucking retarded. Like him and Rukia have a kid, and they're just like, you know, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Rukia,
they end up together.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I thought he ended up with the Orihime.
Orihime, I think Orihime ends up with I might be wrong, but I think Orihime ends up with the dude that's the voice actor for Sasuke. He has the
glasses.
Yeah. By the way, that's the American voice actor for Sasuke. Yeah. So
you would think because she was in love with Ichigo. I'm gonna have to watch it, but I don't want to watch Bleach.
Yeah.
It's such a
well, no, I'm not. But they don't show that yet. But I'm saying like in the future when they're adults, like say like Ichigo has a kid with Rukia, and then the kid becomes a Soul Reaper, and then now that's it. Now, like that would be fucking retarded. Like, but what they're doing with Bleach, which I'm excited about, is like they're going back again with Ichigo. Bleach has been out since like 2001. You know what I'm saying? So like we're getting what we wanted. These episodes, these shows that have been out since the time, like the only out of the big three, the only show out of all of them that is actually getting away from the fucking story is Naruto. Luffy is still Luffy. There's no kids. There's no bullshit. Ichigo is still Ichigo with no kids, no bullshit. Naruto is the only one that fast tracked him as an adult, and then we're have a show about his fucking kid now. But we're still on adventures with Luffy. We're still on adventures with Ichigo. But with fucking Goku had kids. Nobody give a fuck about them kids. We still fucking with Goku.
I mean, the show wanted to make it about Gohan. It's just the fans were like, no, we're not going to do that. You're going to make it about Goku, and they scrapped that.
Should have done that with Naruto.
Yeah, because the older fans.
Out of the big three, Naruto's the only one that went against the curve, and I don't like it. Like we're still fucking with Luffy and we're still fucking with Ichigo. We should still be fucking with Naruto.
Okay, fine. That's why they haven't gotten rid of them yet, but I guess they do plan on getting rid of them. So I'm excited to see that.
What killing?
What was that?
What killing Naruto?
Well, that's the whole claim that they're going to kill Naruto. I think the what's his name again? Kawaki in the beginning, like the first episode, he said, "I'll send you where I sent Naruto, where I sent the Hokage." So that was kind of like, oh, he killed the Hokage, but then he fell in love with him because he's like his father in the manga. So it's kind of weird. That's what I am looking forward to, though.
They're talking about he sent him, like the whole premise was he sent him to like the Otsutsuki, like he sent him to this dimensional prison realm or some shit like that. But I don't fucking care. When they kill Naruto, my ass is gonna be playing that really sad like funeral music, and I'm gonna be crying in a corner for like
the Naruto sad music.
Yeah,
the swinging music.
Yeah. You know when anybody important dies. I mean, fuck everybody else, but when like a main character dies. But I don't know.
Honorable mention though. Another fall anime that's coming out that I do want to quickly mention is Spy Family. I haven't watched the newest episode, but that Spy Family, Anya is Anya Forger. She is
Anya.
hilarious.
She's so
And they
cute.
actually have a huge turnaround, quick turnaround. They're actually the 12th episode came out, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah.
And then not next season, so not summer 2022, but fall 2022, they're going to be turning around and coming out with second season or part two. I don't know exactly how they're doing that.
I think it's like a part 2.
Yeah, I think it's like a part 2. So they're probably going to have 24 episodes a part of the first season, but it's a pretty quick turnaround. Why? Because that show is actually loved by many fans. I don't know if you've ever been on the site that I was telling you about, but it shows you like the top anime of that week and of that day and of the month.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Spy Family takes it every week. You know, the rest of the days is One Piece, but Spy Family weekend got it on lock.
When AOT season 4 came out and Spy Family came out, Spy Family was above AOT part 2. But
yeah,
when
Spy Family came out,
yeah, it was above it the whole time. So. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the next few seasons. I think summer 2022 and fall 2022 are going to be really good. I mean, other than that, that's pretty much it for our update. I mean, I think I definitely want to catch up on a few things, catch up on Spy Family, catch up on My Hero, or at least rewatch My Hero. Is it wrong to pick up a girl in a dungeon? I know there's a few things. I'm pretty sure you're caught up already. You watch a little bit more, but I have to force myself to watch animes. So not forced like I don't like it, but
yeah,
there's so much going on right now, and like with The Boys, the season of The Boys is out right now, and like all this nonsense that I have to like force myself to watch these animes so I can actually bring some good fucking content to the table. But I mean, other than that, that's it for me, brother.
No, that's honestly all for me. I like to watch the anime as soon as I find out the new season coming up. I finish the anime immediately, so as soon as the season come out, I'm watching from day one, episode 1. But no, good show. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about what's actually ending this week. So next week when the new episode 1s come out, we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. I appreciate everybody for listening. Thank you for watching. Please hop on over to YouTube. We do upload our videos over here. If you are an audio listener, go to Anchor, Apple, Spotify. Leave us a comment, leave us a review, leave us something. Give us a star, half a star, I don't know. But everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Monday is the new day, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.